Hey guys, it's JR right here. Seeing a therapist in the US is extremely costly. The rate can jump up to $200, $300 per hour in big cities like New York. It's just crazy. Like literally, when you receive the bill, it's gonna drive you crazy. But there are reasons why it's so expensive, and not to mention, mental health is in no way less important than physical health. So here are the 10 most commonly heard answers you get from a therapy session that we found on the internet. No offense to the professionals. If you're really in need of help, do seek professional aid. But these are just some of the answers to the most common problems that we encounter in our daily life. So no time to waste, here it goes, and this won't cost you a penny. Number 10, the majority of your problems come from childhood. Just look at your parents. I'm a big believer in earlyhood child education. I believe it's a very crucial stage in developing character. And in this process, your parents are your biggest influences. That's why parental education is just as important as early childhood education. The things your parents pass on to you are not just in the genes, but also either good or bad. Your parents' traits, they rub off on you throughout your entire childhood. So if you want to get to know yourself better or know yourself in a deeper way, just take a look at your parents and how they raised you. Number 9, other problems are in your head. We create problems on our own, up here in this tiny little mind, these tiny little dialogues that go, if I hadn't asked her in the first place, probably she would be like, blah, 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 blah. She's doing this because she's blah, 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 blah. It's like a mental self-interrogation that goes on and on and on and on. The thing is, we cannot explain other people's actions. We grew up in different atmospheres, we came from different backgrounds, we had different experiences in life, we were brought up in different ways. So when you try to split hair about things, you're creating problems on your own. And a lot of times these problems don't even exist in reality, they only exist in your head. Number 8, speak more about your feelings, don't assess people. On hearing this is probably one of the advice that I really need to work on, because whenever it comes to expressing your feelings, as a guy, especially for guys, it's kind of tough, kind of hard to do it, because we're taught to hide our emotions, hide our feelings so that we sound macho. And letting your feelings out is kind of like a symbol of weakness, which is not true, and expressing ourselves is probably the right thing to do. So when you point your finger at somebody, it's their natural instinct to try to defend themselves. They put up their guards, and that is the end of what could have been perfect communication. So on this advice, I actually do have a personal guideline, a personal principle that I do follow. It's called the I, we, are principle. Whenever I need to confront somebody, instead of blasting out loud, I always start with I, we, are. I think we can do better than this, instead of saying you can do better than this. You see, what I'm doing is I'm pointing fingers at me first before making a statement. I feel hurt because of what happened, instead of saying what you said was harsh. Once again, I'm pointing fingers at me first. I feel hurt of what happened, and not saying that it's your fault, but implying that it's your fault, but not really saying it. I'm pointing fingers at me first once again, and then pointing fingers at you. When you express your feelings, you're not causing a confrontation. You're actually making a cushion for the situation. You're allowing people, you're giving them the opportunity to let down their pride, to preserve dignity. You're giving them a chance to fix the situation. You're giving them a chance to explain themselves. Number 7, care more about yourself and care less about people's assessments. Comparing yourself to other people is a habit that can suffocate you. There is a big difference between being inspired by other people and trying to copy another person's life. Big difference. In Asia, kids are often assessed by their academic performances. And when I was a kid, all my friends and all my cousins, they were like literally geniuses. They were so smart at school. They were always gaining the adults' attention. And when time went by, they all successfully got into great colleges like Harvard, MIT, UPenn, NTU. On the contrary, I felt less of myself at some points in life because I never got to go to these prestige colleges. But now when I see them, it's funny how I don't envy them at all. And this is not sour grapes at all. It's just that I think my life is great right now. I love who I am. I love what I've become. I've come to realize that I can be my best self without always trying to compare myself to other people. So you can always have a role model for yourself out there. There is no problem with that. But life is never about trying to be someone else. It's always about trying to be your better self. Not yourself, but your better self. Because yourself can suck sometimes. Number 6, escape your comfort zone. Nothing comes easy. Even if it does, it'll take a chunk out of you to make it stay. So if you want to live an easy life, that's okay, as long as you're satisfied with staying with where you are, staying with ordinary. But if you want to go extraordinary, don't get too comfy. Number 5, each day take a small step forward. So you walked out of your comfort zone, but you don't see an immediate change in your life right now. Well, Rome wasn't built in one day, right? You gotta take it step by step, brick by brick, and this applies to every aspect in life. Some guys have been asking me in the commentary section about how I can quit porn. That is one straightforward, relevant, crucial question to guys. Seems like guys can never drop that, right? Wrong. We can. It's just a matter of resolution and a little technique. But of course, if you're thinking of quitting porn for the rest of your life starting today, well, I'm telling you, you're probably gonna give up tomorrow. So start doing it little by little. Do the baby steps. Don't watch porn for 7 days. And if you nail that, you're starting to feel good about yourself. Well, go for another week. If you go 2 weeks in a row without any porn at all, now you're feeling really confident. And the next thing you know, you haven't touched it for 3 months. Something you've never dreamed of before. And you can't stop wondering, why was it so necessary to watch porn in the past? Because now, it's not. Hallelujah. To raise your level, you gotta do it step by step. And this applies to all spheres in life. Number 4, set boundaries and don't let anyone trespass them. Agree, I would say it's very important to have these clear principles inside your head concerning different matters. Taking myself for example, if someone is rude to me, if someone gives me the cold shoulder or even insults me, you know what? That's fine with me, I can suck it up. Usually I just walk away or just let it slide. But when it gets to the level where other people are involved or other people start getting affected by it or that it's really causing me some trouble, then that's where I hit the brakes. That's when I let them know that there is a line that you shall not cross.
You shall not pass!
You have to have this clear line inside your head, and sometimes you just gotta make it clear before others too. When is it okay to be tolerant and when you just gotta stand up and protect your boundaries. Number 3, think about the experience you gained thanks to this situation. Always try to find good out of the bad. I know a person who went to the best girls' high school in the country. She was a top student in her school. However, she flopped out her college entrance exam. The results were devastating, and she winded up at an ordinary university, something she never had in mind. But now she recalls this as a life-changing incident that happened to her. For those 4 years taught her about being humble and how to get along with different people from different social backgrounds, which turned out to be the best lesson she learned in college. Number 2, let the situation go. When you're trying to change something for the better, don't overdo it, especially when there's other people involved. Say for instance, if you're trying to change the class atmosphere by being all nice and smiley, that's fine, but don't expect other people, needless to say, force other people to blend into your ideal world. When somebody gives you the cold shoulder when all you've been doing was being nice, well, sometimes you just gotta let it go, let it go. Number 1, don't be your torturer, be a friend. Oh, I am feeling this already. You gotta accept that you can't influence everything. You can't win in every situation. Don't beat yourself up by thinking about things over and over and over again in your head. Even when you're defeated, there's always something that you've learned throughout the process, and at least you can give yourself credit for that. So these are the 10 most commonly given advices you would get from a psychologist's office. I hope it's doing you good already. Still, if you are in need, do not hesitate to get professional aid. There are a lot of situations in which individual personal consultation is definitely in need and required. So don't hesitate to get help if you need it. If you like the video though, remember to subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification button. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.